Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into 5 cutting-edge U.S. Navy weapons and systems that, taken together, sharpen American maritime power and complicate any adversary's calculus in the Pacific. I'll explain what each system is, why it matters strategically, and how it helps the Navy preserve freedom of the seas and keep potential challengers at arm's length. These aren't sci-fi fantasies. They're real programs and capabilities being fielded, tested, or integrated now, and each one plugs a specific gap in deterrence, long-range strike, or fleet survivability. First up, the Navy's move into directed energy weapons, typified by the Helios program. High-energy lasers change the math of defending a ship against swarms of drones, small boats, and incoming guided munitions because they deliver effects at the speed of light and with very low per-shot cost once installed. Helios, the high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, has already logged shipboard testing and engagements against unmanned aerial targets, proving that a destroyer can use focused energy to disable sensors, blind guidance systems, or burn through small, low-end threats without expending expensive missiles. Directed energy is not a magic bullet. Range, atmospheric conditions, and power generation aboard ships remain engineering challenges. Still, the ability to apply nearly instantaneous, scalable force against many small targets dramatically reduces the munitions drain in large engagements and bolsters a surface fleet's layered defenses. Naval News Second is the rising prominence of hypersonic strike and the conventional prompt strike, CPS concept the Navy is preparing to host on seaborne platforms. Hypersonic glide bodies and cruise systems, vehicles that travel at Mach 5 and above while maneuvering, shorten warning times and complicate defenders' intercept solutions. The Pentagon's recent flight tests of common hypersonic glide bodies across service branches demonstrate both progress and intent. Hypersonics are being matured to give commanders rapid, long-reach precision effects that can hold time-sensitive high-value targets at risk from long distances. For the Navy, hypersonics offer a way to punch through area denial layers, rapidly strike coastal defenses, or threaten large surface formations from standoff positions. Equally important, the mere presence of a credible hypersonic strike option forces an adversary to disperse and harden assets, increasing their cost and complexity of operations. U.S. Department of War Third, modern attack submarines, specifically the Virginia class with its Virginia Payload Module, VPM, are a quiet but enormous part of naval offense and deterrence. The VPM insertion increases the number of long-range cruise missiles a Virginia-class boat can carry, restoring and exceeding the strike volume once provided by retired guided missile submarines. That matters because submarines are survivable launch platforms. They can lurk under the surface, close enough to strike land or sea targets with Tomahawk missiles or, in future iterations, conventional prompt strike weapons. A submerged deterrent capable of delivering dozens of precision strikes complicates an adversary's targeting and creates persistent ambiguity about where and when a strike might originate. As the fleet modernizes with Block 5 and beyond, these submarines become mobile. Hard-to-find arsenals, exactly the kind of capability that increases strategic friction and raises the stakes for any aggressive plan in contested waters. Wikipedia fourth on the list is the SM-6 family of missiles, a flexible, long-range interceptor that has become a multi-mission workhorse for fleet air and missile defense. SM-6 combines active seeker guidance with mid-course inputs from ship sensors and networked platforms, giving surface combatants the ability to engage aircraft, cruise missiles, and even certain ballistic threat phases, and recent upgrades aim to expand anti-surface and over-the-horizon strike roles. The value of SM-6 is twofold. It extends the defended area around high-value ships and formations, and it provides a long-reach precision interceptor that can be integrated across carrier strike groups and allied navies. In practical terms, having dozens of long-range interceptors in a carrier group's magazines forces any adversary to mass many more and more complex weapons to achieve the same effect, which is expensive and operationally risky. RTX 5th. Unmanned systems like the MQ-25 Stingray tanker drone transform how a carrier air wing projects power. The MQ-25's primary mission is aerial refueling. By extending the range of carrier fighters, the Stingray lets the carrier battle group strike from safer, more distant positions, pushing launch boxes farther from contested shorelines and air defenses. That increases the survivability of high-value carriers and their air wings, while allowing the fleet to maintain deterrent posture without driving ships into the most dangerous zones. Beyond refueling, the MQ-25 program establishes carrier-based unmanned operational practices, command and control links, and concepts of operation that can later host sensors, communications relays, or additional roles, effectively multiplying the fleet's reach and resilience. As the Navy integrates MQ-25s, carriers gain more flexible operational options, and commanders gain a wider set of tactical choices in a crisis. NationalDefenseMagazine.org. Those 5 systems are powerful by themselves, but their real deterrent value is in how they layer and network together. Directed energy protects ships from low-cost saturation attacks. SM-6 extends the air and missile defense umbrella. Submarines with VPM complicate an opponent's ability to defend coasts and bases. Hypersonics introduce rapid, hard-to-intercept strike options. And unmanned tankers expand the geographic reach of manned strike aircraft. That layering creates redundancy. If one approach proves costly or uncertain in a particular scenario, other options remain viable. Adversaries must plan for a web of overlapping threats, which in turn raises the political and operational cost of aggression. A few realities are worth emphasizing. First, many of these systems are still maturing. Some are in testing, some entering limited operational use, and others awaiting better power, production, or doctrinal integration. Progress is real, but so are limits. Weather affects lasers. Sensors and queuing networks are vital for missile performance. Logistics and training influence how quickly unmanned systems can be adopted fleet-wide. And hypersonics introduce command, control, and escalation questions that policymakers must manage. Second, technology is only one half of deterrence. Posture, allied integration, distributed basing, and operational concepts all shape how effectively these weapons translate into strategic effect. Finally, from a strategic perspective, the combination of survivable undersea strike, extended air defenses, networked long-range interceptors, directed energy for close defenses, and unmanned systems that expand reach collectively change the calculus for any potential challenger. They increase uncertainty about where and when U.S. forces can deliver force, raise the cost of massing conventional attacks, and provide commanders with more options short of escalation to strategic nuclear thresholds. That's the heart of conventional deterrence at sea. Make aggression costly, risky, and unpredictable. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want a deeper dive into any single system, tests, timelines, platform integrations, or how allies are adopting similar tools, tell me which one and I'll expand the technical and operational picture. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, hit like and subscribe for more explainers on modern naval power.